Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some FTB Infinity. This time, it actually is episode 33. Last episode, I said 33 when it was actually 32, but that's fine. And one thing I do want to note before we jump into what we're actually going to do today, don't worry, we're not going to be doing any more magic just yet. I know there are some people who love Thaumcraft, but there are also some people who really don't like Thaumcraft. Today we're going to be doing some more tech stuff, don't worry. But I did want to address one thing before we get onto that, and that is this aura node over here. I did say at the end of last episode that I was going to move over a bunch more aura nodes to fill up this area, but then after reading some comments and kind of looking some stuff up, I realized that if we did that, and I also did some testing by the way in a single player world, if we did that, the aura nodes would kind of compete with each other and start like almost attacking each other and draining and kind of wearing all the other aura nodes around it down to the point where they were all kind of not as good as they would be when we first moved them in. Hopefully that makes sense. And basically what we have to do to fix that is make some node stabilizers and stick them underneath the aura nodes all around this room. So next time we jump back into Thaumcraft, we will go ahead and make some of those. I'm really quickly going to show you. We need just these things here, node stabilizers. Fairly easy to make, apart from the fact that they require a ton of aqua, terra, and order inside your wand, so they could take quite a while to make each individual one, but I'm sure we'll find a way to do it, and I might go ahead and just kind of between every few episodes when my wand charges up, go ahead and make a few of those. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into what I want to do today. So, our quarry has been running for quite some time now, and it's not really running the best that it can be. If we go and have a look at this thing, right now, it is jam-packed. It's not even running. Right now, it is full to the brim and is not running. So the first thing I want to fix is this. I want to make it so that our quarry never, ever, ever, ever stops running. That is my goal for this episode. I don't want this thing to ever stop running. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to start transferring all of the stuff from that chest directly through the Tesseract back to the overworld, and then separating it in the overworld so that all of the ores go to this chest, and all of the other stuff like the gems, the diamond, the quartz, the coal, and everything else goes straight into the AE system. So in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is move this Tesseract, because we don't want it directly touching that chest. So let's pick this thing up. We can do that with the crescent hammer so much easier. And then we're going to stick it down, I think, right about... Do I want to put it like there? I think I do. And then we'll get rid of this, which is going to take forever because our thing is out of juice. Let's go ahead and just charge this up for a little bit. While that's charging up, we can go ahead and grab our pickaxe. Thank you. So what we're going to do now is, I don't think we have to change anything in here. We still want it to receive items, and we still want it to send power. So we do need to hook it up to this guy again, so it does get power from our little geothermal generators in the other room there. Kind of lost my words for a second. But basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to get the filter that is being used right now in the overworld, and we're going to stick it on the side of this Tesseract. So what I mean by that is we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab this filter, which is all of the ores, and this transfer node, and we're going to take it and stick that in the overworld. Now, we are going to have to put another transfer node on there, obviously, in the future, but we'll come back to that in just a second. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to head on back, and once we get there, we're going to do something like this. So I'm thinking, actually, I'm going to move the conduit here. Sorry, flux duct. It's going to take me a while to get used to the new names of those. I'm going to put that there, and then we're going to have the transfer node on this side, like so. We're going to stick the item filter in it, and then we're going to have pipes going from that transfer node up and towards the chest. So now all of the ores that come into the Tesseract should go into the chest. Now the next thing we're going to need is another transfer node on the other side of the Tesseract there. Do we have one lying around? We do not. However, they are fairly easy to make. I'm just going to go ahead and type in node, because it's a lot easier to find it that way. And if we do something like this, we are almost good to go. Just need a chest and a block of redstone. And let's have a look. Boom, boom, done. Nice. Let's throw you down right about there. And then this one, we're going to put another filter on it. And this time around, we're going to have to be kind of a bit creative with our filters, because I'm pretty sure there are more than 9 items that we need to bring through. So I'm going to make 3. And I'm not quite sure if we're going to need 3, but you'll see in a second why I made 3 if we happen to need more than 2 or more than 1. Hopefully. I don't know if that made any sense, but hey. So we need to bring all of this stuff back. And to do that, we need to put a filter that is set to bring all of this stuff back, which is kind of insane. Now, the bees are going to be a real pain, actually, and we might have to do something else about those. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of every single one of these items, and we're going to get attacked by random mobs. Come on now. I've got, like, super armor. You're never going to kill me. Why would you even try? Why? Just there we go. Just die. There we go. All right. Let's grab ourselves one of each one of these. And then once we've got one of everything in our inventory, we have to add all of these to an item filter. Now you'll notice that there are only, I think, 9 slots on each of these. So you can just shift left click to add it to the item filter. And I'm going to add all but 2 to this first item filter here. Now, in the second item filter, I'm going to go ahead and where did we end up at? We ended on the quartz. I'm going to go from the quartz and add another set, this time going all the way to the very end, like that. And then finally on the last one, I have a scared feeling that we actually don't have quite enough, or we might just have enough. Oh, we just have enough. Lovely. And now you'll see that across all of these filters, we've managed to go ahead and filter all the items. Now, in order to compress them down all into one item filter, all we have to do is open the original one where we left 2 slots, stick this one there like that, and this one here like that. You'll notice it doesn't actually use the item filter. We still have them here, but it kind of uses an imprint of the item filter. And now if we hover over it, you can see a list of every single item that is in that chest is now on there as well, which is pretty freaking awesome. So if we head on back over to the overworld again, stick this down right about here in there, and then get some more pipes real quick, which we should have. And we do. And basically, if you connect up pipes to an ME interface, that's going to go ahead and automatically put it into any available disks. In this case, these ones over here. So, now, if we make ourselves one more transfer node, and I'm just going to go ahead and dump everything there, back into the AE system, spacebar and left click, for those who are wondering what hotkey I used right there, we should really make this one. This one's going to get us 4, and we have a ton of ender pearls. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do this one this time around. Thank you very much. So now, if we go ahead and just tell the chest, I'll just put a transfer node down so that the chest transfers everything into the Tesseract like this. We're not going to put any filters on there whatsoever. We're just going to have it go straight into the Tesseract like that. That's going to pull out everything there is. And what I'm going to do real quick, actually, is grab one of the stack upgrades that we had in here. A lot of people have been telling me to make this. It's actually been in this transfer node for quite a while now, but I'm going to pull that out. And the stack upgrade basically moves a stack of items at a time. And so if we put that in here, it should start to move stacks of coal at a time, as opposed to everything else. Now, one thing that we are completely forgot to take into account there is that we kind of need to blacklist cobblestone, which I think we can do, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually have no idea how the world we're gonna do that. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that down for now, and I'm gonna fiddle with it to where we have an item filter that has everything coming through it, including all of the ores. So to do that, what we need to do is basically, actually, I think, possibly, I'm going to test something here and see if this works. If it does work, that's awesome. If it doesn't work, that's kind of scary. What I'm going to try and do is simply take this item filter. I have a feeling this won't work, but if we take this item filter and this item filter and open up this one, can we do this and this? Does that work? Can you have like an item? Wow. Okay. It looks like that might have worked. And then we'll put that there, and we'll put that one in there. And then we'll see if this works. We're probably not going to know for a while, because we'll have to come back and check if all of the ores are getting pulled out properly. But if this does work, that's kind of awesome. So basically, this is now an item filter that has everything apart from all of this stuff here, the cobblestone, marble, dirt, etc., whitelisted to come through this transfer node. So we put that down again, stick that in there, and then stick a stack upgrade in. That should start to move everything that's not coal, and should also move all the ores, which is kind of awesome if it works. So I'm going to leave that there for now. That's not the main focus of today's episode. That's just kind of something I want to get fixed for a long time now. They should all go straight into the AE system, which is lovely. Now, the main thing that I want to do this episode was actually speed up the quarry, because the quarry right now, whilst reasonably fast, it's not like super slow or anything, it's not really fast enough. I don't leave this on all the time. We're in a single player world, so it's not like left running overnight, so I have like thousands of diamonds. So whilst I'm on, I want it to be running as fast as is humanly possible for the quarry to run. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to throw some speed upgrades on it. However, those speed upgrades are kind of expensive. If we go ahead and type in speed over here on NEI real quick, and we look right down I can never find these things. Over here, we'll see that there is a speed upgrade at number 1, 2, and 3. And each of them has a power multiplier, because obviously if the quarry has the speed upgrade and is running faster, it's going to use more power. So this might test our power system. I don't think it will. We have a pretty awesome power system right now. We are making tons of power, if you include that from the big reactor as well, which is making a ton of power, so it shouldn't be a problem. But if it is, that's no big deal. We can always go ahead and think of some new way to generate some power. What I'm going to do real quick, before we make that though, is just go ahead and fill in this wall, because otherwise it is going to drive me insane. Boom, 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 and boom. And we'll do a quick check here to see if all of the coal is in. It is. We didn't have anywhere near 888 coal before, and nowhere near 600 redstone. So it looks like things are working just fine. Also, if we go ahead and type in salt, we now have salt. I'm pretty sure we had like no salt before. So the quarry and the tesseracts and the transfer nodes are all working nicely. So, in order to make the first speed upgrade, and I would like to have the second upgrade by the end of today's episode, but in order to make the first speed upgrade, we need a diamond pickaxe with efficiency 1, as well as 2 speed upgrades and an ender quarry base. Now, just to take a little bit of a step back, the first thing I'm going to make today is actually a butt to the diamonds, because you'll notice the first upgrade requires 3, the second upgrade requires 3, and I think we need like 4 more throughout the episode for other things that we're going to make. So, what I'm going to do, guys, is real quick here, I'm going to cut away, I'm going to grab like 8 stacks of coal, pretty much use up all the coal that we have. Let's see, how many do we have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to take all these, I'm going to make a bunch of diamonds. For those who don't know, basically, we can turn them into pulverized coal, we can then compress that up using the compressor, and if we compress it enough, we can turn a stack of coal into a diamond using Industrial Craft 2. So I'm going to go away, guys, I'm going to do that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, and a bunch of compressing and pulverizing later, we can get ourselves 9 coal chunks, and if we go ahead and throw these back into our compressor, which does have a bunch of overclockers in, and thanks to all of the power coming from all of these geothermal generators, can actually run pretty fast, we can go ahead and get ourselves 9 diamonds. Nice. Hopefully, after we get our quarry speeded up, we'll get more diamonds and won't have to pulverize as much coal to get all the diamonds that we need. But for now, whilst they're pulverizing and compressing up, what we're going to do is we're going to start by making an enchanter, or an auto enchanter, from Mine Factory Reloaded. This thing is pretty cool, and you'll see why in just a second. So to make it, we're going to need some more plastic sheets, we're going to need a machine frame, which does require a tin gear, fairly easy stuff, and we should be pretty much good to go. I think we were missing the reception coil, and are we missing the plastic? We are. So, do we have any rubber? We do. Good stuff. We can take that. We can go ahead and just smelt that up in, I guess the alloy smelter would be the best way to put that. We'll throw you in there. And what else are we missing? We're missing the machine frame. That is easily fixed. Boom, boom, and boom. Good stuff. Let's take you and you. Combine these up like so. That gets us 4 plastic sheets, which is more than enough. So we're going to go ahead and put that there, and we get ourselves an auto enchanter. Nice. And basically, what this does is this allows us to enchant stuff using mob essence. Mob essence being the green liquid, or essence as it's called now. It used to be called mob essence in all the versions of Mine Factory Reloaded. It allows us to use this green essence here to enchant stuff, which might not sound all that great, but once you see how we're actually going to use it, it's pretty freaking awesome. So, let me see if I can find the cable that has all this stuff, and here it is. Do we have any spare fluidics lying around? I think we do. We have 2, which is not quite what I was after. We might need a few more than that, but I guess 2 would work for now. We'll put that there, and for the time being, I think the enchanter does require power. I'm going to put it there, and it does require energy, but it seems to be full somehow. Now, I'm not going to question... Is it... I'm not going to question why that's working. I'm just going to accept that's working. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I needed a way to get a bunch of experience. Because if you noticed, the diamond pickaxe that we needed for the speed 1 upgrade required an enchantment on it. And to get enchantments, of course, we need experience. We do have 21 levels, but if we want to get some of the higher level enchantments, for instance, if we go ahead and look at the tier 2 speed upgrade, which is over here, this thing requires efficiency 3. And I'm fairly certain that after we've got efficiency 1 for the diamond pickaxe, we're not going to have enough experience to get efficiency 3. So, we need a way to turn this mob essence into experience. And the way we're going to do that is by getting ourselves some glass bottles and enchanting them in the auto enchanter, which is actually something I never thought about at all, but actually kind of works. So we throw that in there and let the enchantment kind of run its course. We are going to need some conduits. Do we have any power conduits? We do. For now, I'm going to make it look horrible, but I'm just going to do this. There we go. Eventually I'll set this up nicely, but for now, this is going to work. And basically, once that work tick gets all the way to the top, which is going to do any second now, we get ourselves a bottle of enchanting, which we can then go ahead and just bing, and we get some levels. Now, granted, that was a very tiny amount of levels, but we have a ton of mob essence that we're not using, a ton of power that we're not using, and glass is very easy to make, so I figured this would be a good idea. We'll let that run. We might have to set up some automated glass production, which would be very easy to do, and actually kind of cool, which I might do at some point in the future to keep this thing full, but for now, let's move on and see if we can actually get ourselves these speed upgrades. Now, the first thing on the kind of first logical step would be to make an enchanting table and just try and see if we could get efficiency 1. Is it efficiency? It is. Okay. That would be the first step. However, I don't want to do that. That's going to take a bunch of time, a bunch of levels, and we might not even get efficiency 1. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to get another nifty little tool from Ender.io, this time the Enchanter. This thing is fairly easy to make, does require some more diamonds, like I said earlier, and we are going to have to go ahead and grab some more of our diamonds, all of which should be done by now, and they are. Let's take you. Let's throw that in there like that. That leaves us with 6 left for the 2 pickaxes. And basically what this thing allows us to do is pretty much pick the enchantments that we want. So we put this down over here and look inside of it. What we need is we need a book. And now I believe we need a book and quill, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll make one of these if we had a book, which we do. We'll take that and we'll take another one like that. Get ourselves 2 book and quills, and now if we throw this in here like so, we have to add 1 item to it, and that will get us, or 1 type of item, should I say, and that will get us a specific enchantment. Now, to find out which item we need for efficiency, we'll click on recipes, and we'll flick across a couple of pages. I think it's redstone, but I might be mistaken. Now, I'm not. It is redstone. So 12 redstone with a book and quill gets us to efficiency 1, which is actually really flipping cool. So, let's grab some redstone. Let's do something like this. Let's throw that in here like so. And that gets us efficiency 1. Now, so that did cost us 5 levels, so it was a little bit expensive, and we do now need an anvil in order to equip that to a level 1, to a pickaxe, but that's, again, fairly easy. I think we've got like over 1,000 iron right now. Close, we have 930 iron, which is pretty much the same when you think about it. Let's get ourselves an anvil. I don't know why I typed in iron. Anvil should be fairly easy to get, albeit very expensive. I still think anvils are too expensive. A lot of people say they're fine. I think that's a lot of iron, if you ask me. We'll put that there, and then if we go ahead and just stick you in with a diamond pickaxe that we don't yet have, but we can get fairly easily now that we have all of the diamonds required. We can do something like this, get ourselves a diamond pick. I'm going to go ahead and make the other one, just because I know we're going to need it. Throw both of those in there, the other way around, and we get ourselves an efficiency 1 diamond pick. Nice. Now, let's throw that in there. And in order to do this again with the next level of efficiency 3, which I'm pretty sure is not the next level, but you get what I mean. In order to do that, all we have to do is do the same thing again, but this time, add more redstone. That's basically all you have to do. It's pretty flippin' awesome. I absolutely love it. We are going to need a little tiny bit more ink in order to get this to work. So, this, my friend, is your unlucky day. Goodbye. Thanks for the ink. That should be more than enough. Let's go see if we can get this up and running. I'm not quite sure what the numbers are. It might be 36 redstone, like it might just be 3 times 12. Not too sure if that is actually the case, but I guess we're about to find out. If we throw that in there like so, and put on, let's try 36 redstone. Boom. That gets us efficiency 3. Yeah, okay, so it's just 12 for every level you want to go up. Obviously, 64 there would be, I believe, efficiency 5, the highest level. But we'll take that, and again, we'll go ahead and do something like this, and that has a cost of 5. Thankfully, if we head on back over to our little enchanter over here, we should have more than enough bottles to get us to level 5. Look at that. If we do this again, we are good to go. Look at that. Boom. Planned perfectly. Now what we have to do is throw that in there, going back over to the quarry speed upgrades. Like so. And then for tier 1, we of course need this ender quarry upgrade, which is made in the QED using 4 ender infused obsidian and a burnt quartz. Hopefully, we have some burnt quartz. We don't. Thankfully, we do have quite a bit of quartz, so all we have to do is go ahead and take 2 of these, cook them up in the alloy smelter, make sure it's set to furnace mode, otherwise you will make some other stuff that you don't want to make, which is a big mistake, but there we go, that gets us burnt quartz. We'll take both of those. We should have some ender infused obsidian. We don't, but it's fairly easy to make, especially with the amount of obsidian and ender pearls that we have, so we'll do that, and that. Grab ourselves some ender pearls like so. Ooh, 2 of those should be fine, and our QED should run fairly fast, considering how many of the Ender Flux crystals. I completely forgot the name of those. Considering how many of the Ender Flux crystals we have around it, throw that in there. That shouldn't take too long. And then we're pretty much good to go. Let's have a look. Speed upgrades. I don't know if we have any in our AE system. We do not. So what I'm going to do instead is head on back over to the quarry and take some out of one of the transfer nodes, because I really don't feel like making any more just yet. We'll take 4 of you, I think is perfect. It is. We'll take those and we should be good to go. Now, the quarry upgrades, like I said earlier, do increase the speed. However, I'm not too sure if the multipliers stack. You'll notice that the first speed upgrade has a power drain of 1, and then the second one has a power drain of 1.5. I'm not sure if they stack or if they stay the same. I'm not even sure if a power multiplier of 1 does anything, because if you times the number by 1, it stays the same. So if someone wants to explain how that works to me in the comment section, feel free. I would be more than happy to read how that works. But we'll take the tier 1, throw that back in, and make the tier 2 like so, which we should be able to do. Please tell me it didn't use the wrong pickaxe. Let's see. It did. Wow. Wow. Really, game? Really? You took the tier 3 one and made a flippin' tier 1 speed upgrade. Flippin' applied Energistics, you know. Okay. Why? You're not a squid. You're not a squid. Flippin' spider wants to be a squid. Can you believe it? Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully, I have a feeling we don't have enough levels now to make this work, but hopefully we do. That is a real pain in the backside. I can't believe that the AE system there chose the more expensive one over the cheaper one. Let's see if we can get this to work. If not, all we have to do is make more bottles, which is not too bad, but it's a bit of a pain considering we shouldn't have had to do it in the first place. Let's take one of these. Let's try this again. Get ourselves another 36 redstone, which isn't too big of a deal. We do have a lot of redstone, in all fairness. Throw you in there. Throw you, 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. That costs 13 levels, which we're not going to get from 2 bottles. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to make a bunch more. We don't actually have any more glass. So what I'm going to do is just throw a cobblestone straight into the macerator. The macerator will turn it into sand, which will then smelt up in the electric furnace. I'm going to leave that running. I'm going to get a bunch more bottles, fill them all up in the auto enchanter, and I'll be back in a second once we have all of the stuff to make our efficiency 3 pickaxe. And finally, a little while later, we can go ahead and grab some more bottles of enchanting, do something like this, and we should be good to go. You in there, you in there. Efficiency 3. Let's try this again. You can go back in there. Speed upgrades, here we come. Let's see, tier 2, boom, boom, boom. Okay, thank you. Right, we've now got ourselves a tier 2 speed upgrade for our ender quarry. If we head back, all we have to do to apply this is basically stick it right down next to it. Let's take a quick look inside and see how it's doing right now. If we just right click, we can see that it's scanning it's doing pretty fast, you know, 42, 45, 50. But then if we go ahead and stick this down, we can see that it's scanning a lot faster. Look at that. We're going up kind of hundreds, 200, 300. It's going a lot faster. Now, it is draining 1.5 times as much power, which is quite a lot of power, but it's running a lot faster. You can see it's filling up a lot faster as well. We could probably go ahead and move that stack upgrade back into there now, because we probably don't need it over here as much anymore, but it's looking good. It's looking good. For some reason, it seems like Lapis didn't manage to get itself onto the list there and hasn't managed to get itself into the club, but that's fine. We can come and take some Lapis off, and I'll probably fix it at some point between episodes in the future. But for now, guys, with that, I'm almost going to end the episode there. You thought I was going to end the episode, didn't you? There is one more thing I want to show you guys, and you may have noticed it out and about. Over here, the pressure plate is invisible. Look at that. Dark pressure plate. If we hold shift, you can see it's invisible. And this one's not. This one looks horrible. So, the way we do that is we take the horrible looking one, we stick it in a painting machine like this with quite clear glass in the painting slot, put it in there like so. That's going to paint it, and it comes out invisible. I thought it was kind of cool. It's a really small thing. It just means you don't have to look at that horrible green on the floor all the time, and it just looks nice and invisible. You don't have to look at it. Boom. Done. It now opens and closes. Mobs still can't go through it, which is kind of awesome. And with that, guys, I'm going to end the episode there. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like, leave a comment down below. It does help the video out a ton. And I will see you guys next time.